all in good fun.
I want to get into something that I think a lot of people probably saw and said, well, this is probably no big deal.
Right.
But this is a story that I think is important to look at because this is going to go well beyond the horizon line.
Okay.
And that has to do with the NFL is going to put the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars this upcoming season on October 25th on the internet.
Wow.
And people will say, well, what's the big deal? It's on the internet. Who cares? Well, the NFL is taking billions of dollars from the network. They just signed, talking about the NFL,
Right.
an 8-year, $12 billion deal with DirecTV. How much more greedier can you get? Mark Cuban famously said, and I'm very much paraphrasing here, the NFL one day is going to kill itself out of greed.
Okay.
Pigs get fat. Hogs get slaughtered. Are we seeing that first step now?
Yeah.
I think we've seen it over the last 16, 18 months and how they've dealt with societal issues in their league, how they've dealt with how they've been so slow to respond to any kind of issue in their league. And for me, as new back to the NFL, it was the ultimate in arrogance. That it's how dare you question how we run our business. And it was from this, we're more popular, we make more money, we basically can do whatever we want. So to Cuban's point, I agree, Benjamin. There is a time with the NFL where they do seem to lack humility in how they're running this model, and especially with this spectra of violence hanging over the sport and younger players retiring, Eric. Where will the NFL be in 15 years? They're projecting it that the trend is straight here. Will it flatten, Benjamin? Are we going to see some type of erosion of popularity in the NFL, or because of gambling and violence, it'll never go away?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fascinating topic you guys brought up. And I see what you're saying, of course, with putting the games on the internet. I mean, they're just getting too greedy in this situation. I think it really is going to come down to this. So much crap happened in the NFL last year, and like you said, you look at the top-rated TV shows last year: football, the Oscars, football, the Grammys, 60 Minutes, maybe like 19th or something like that. Yeah. Will participation or lack thereof in football affect viewership of football? Because I think in the next 20, 25 years, whatever the number is, there will be less participation in youth football. But does that mean that once those 10-year-olds or 20-year-olds, are they going to not watch the game? Oh, Mom wouldn't let me play this, so I don't like it, I'm not going to watch it. I don't think that's... my point is, I think we'll see less participants, but we'll still see football, 60 minutes.
I'm gonna tie what the NFL is trying to do to what we are doing here on the Sports Show AM.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Because this is a digital platform. We are not on broadcast television. Currently, we're not on radio either. Our show is formatted on clips. You can watch us live if you want to, but you can watch us on your iPhone. You can watch us on a tablet. You can watch us on the iPad. Watch what you want when you want it. That's how the Sports Show and the Sports Show AM is built. I've talked to so many people about this, and what I've said to them is, this is the future of media. This is where it is going. And the Denver Post and the Sports Show and the Sports Show AM is the first train to leave the station.
Okay.
And everyone is going to follow. Is the NFL being greedy, or are they just the first train to leave the station? Then the NBA is going to follow. And then baseball's going to follow, and the NHL is going to follow, and the NCAA is going to follow. Because you know what? You want to watch the NCAA tournament, and you want to watch all those games? How do you watch True TV, TNT, CBS, and whatever network I missed, unless you're in front of a TV?
Well, I like the idea of just taking a risk. I mean, they're putting some eggs in this basket. They're not putting all of the eggs. So if it doesn't work out, I think the NFL is going to be all right. So I kind of look at it as like, all right, maybe they're trying to be trendsetters, and if it doesn't work, the thing's not going to explode. So I like that. And you look at the NBA, they're talking about being pro-gambling. I mean, even if I'd said that 5 years ago, a pro league's going to be pro-gambling.
Well, then Michael Jordan never would have had to have retired for a couple of years.
What are you talking about? He didn't gamble. He has played hard.
It's interesting that you say that because the NFL, because of the 16-game schedule, they don't need to compartmentalize it. Baseball and basketball can truly benefit from this because we all say it's hard to pay attention to them because it's just too many games.
Oh,
and hockey too. It's just too many regular season games that don't matter to the casual fan. That and even baseball now. I may watch 80 games or what. I'm not watching 150. I don't have time for it anymore. But in the NFL's case, when you put it on the platform like that in the internet, I would assume, without knowing their business, it's a global issue, right? Not as much. And they're trying to globalize a sport that they already feel they own nationally.
Sure.
Right.
Because who are you to put it on the internet? It's for the guy in Brazil.
Or the Japanese
And here's
guy.
the height of arrogance.
Here
They're
we go.
talking about putting the Pro Bowl in Brazil.
Yeah, I'll go to that.
Do they really have an audience for that in Brazil? And that's what you wonder. But they're like, we're the NFL. We could try Brazil.
Right.
Because we'll get 100,000. Well, because they promote the heck out of things. They do the one-day event better than anyone.
Right.
And we all say, it's soccer, man. They'll never go. How do you know if it's the Pro Bowl, they're not going to really distinguish that game's a joke. They might have 85, 90,000 people there.
Yeah.
That's, again, the NFL operates under parameters that none of the other sports do. They can do stuff that, like if they said they're going to move the All-Star game to China or somewhere, you're like, really? I mean, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But the NFL does it because they can.
Right.
I mean, they're like, why do rock stars date models? Because they can.
Right,
The NFL can do anything it wants.
Yeah, why do sports writers date fives? Because we have to. That's all we get. Yeah,
Fives?
So anyway,
I got a scale of 1 to 1.
Well, you're an old TV guy, so you're higher. But
old TV guy.
Former TV guy.
Very former.
Well, I'm just saying, you were TV.
Well, it's the receding hairline that doesn't, and a lack of talent.